'Cause I got friends in low places where the whiskey drowns and the beer chases my blues away. I'll be okay. Hey friends, I'm Kevin and welcome to the song tutorial for Friends in Low Places by Garth Brooks. This is one of my favorite country songs of all time, and let's be honest, we've all got friends in low places. So today we're going to learn the chords, the strumming pattern, and spend some time playing this one together. Get yourself tuned up and let's hop right in. Let's kick things off here by learning the chords that you're going to use throughout the entirety of the song. We start off with an A major chord, just played right here with our middle finger on the 2nd fret of the G string, index on the 1st fret of the C string. You can also play your A chord here as a bar chord by barring the 4th fret, placing your ring finger on the 6th fret of the G string, middle finger on the E string of the 5th fret. So you have this A chord that's up in the higher register. The next chord we have is called A sharp diminished. So we play that chord here with our index finger on the C string 1st fret, middle finger on the A string of the 1st fret. The second version of this you can play is taking this and moving it up here. This is exactly the same chord actually. You play index on the 3rd fret G string, ring finger on the C string of the 4th fret, middle on the E string of the 3rd fret, and pinky on the 4th fret of the A string. It's a nice diminished shape that you can move all over the neck. It sounds pretty cool. So that's your A sharp diminished chord. The next chord we have is B minor 7. So the B minor 7 chord is simply just taking your index finger and barring the entire 2nd fret. You could also play the regular B minor triad by adding your ring finger to the 4th fret of the G string, but I think the B minor 7 accomplishes the goal that we need here. We move on here to everybody's favorite chord, E major. Another little hand contortion here. Ring finger is on the top 3 strings of the 4th fret, index is on the A string of the 2nd fret. You also have the option of playing with your middle ring and pinky here instead of doing that ring finger bar. We also have the E7 chord, which is index finger on the G string 1st fret, middle and ring on the C and A strings of the 2nd fret. There's our E7 chord. And we finish it off here with a D minor 7, which only happens a couple times in the song. We can play that here. Middle ring on the G and C strings of the 2nd fret, index on the E string of the 1st fret, and pinky on the A string of the 3rd fret. Beautiful sounding chord, which we can also play up here on the 5th fret by just barring, just like you did with your B minor 7. And I'll show you how these are connected when we get to that section of the song, but there's your D minor 7. So those are the chords. Practice those, get those under your fingers. They're going to be helpful for you as we get on here. So let's move on now and learn the strumming pattern for this tune. So the pattern for this tune is the island strum, which I'll demonstrate here by holding an A major chord down. So the pattern goes down, down, up, up, down, up. And we count that 1, 2, and 4, and. Make sure you're subdividing the rhythm. Your hand is always traveling down and up as you go. And try to keep this nice and smooth as you strum it. So the island strum is the easy version that you can use, but throughout the video you'll probably hear me kind of mixing it up a little bit, and I'm going to add some mutes to the strumming pattern. So I keep the down, down, up, but when I play it I'll go down, mute, up, mute, mute. And we do this in blues songs, and we do this in some other songs to kind of add a little more rhythmic texture to the strumming pattern. So again, down, mute, up, mute, mute, down, mute, up, mute, mute. And the way that I'm muting is by covering the strings here with my fretting hand so that I get that full deadened sound out of the strings. So if you want to just use the basic island strum, totally cool. It'll sound great with the song, but if you want to add a little bit and maybe push yourself a little bit with some muting, try the muted version. So that's the strumming pattern. Let's get into the intro. So I'll do a quick demonstration and then we'll play it together. Here we go. All right, so the chord progression is going to be listed below in the blue bar, but we're going to walk from A to A sharp diminished to our B minor 7, over here to E7, and then we finish with an A chord. So let's play this together nice and slow, and I'll call the chords as we play them. So here we go. You can follow along on the chord chart below. 1, 2, 3, 4, A sharp diminished, that's a lot to say, B minor 7, twice, E7, twice, and then we come back to our A major chord. If you're digging the sound of my uke, head over to allforuke.com/shop. You can have a Kala ukulele for yourself. When you buy your Kala ukulele through AllForUke, you're supporting us, and we really appreciate it. Make sure you check it out. Concerts, sopranos, tenors, baritones, a wide selection of accessories, capos, and more. All for you, allforuke.com/shop. All right, let's jump into the verse section here, so I'll demonstrate this with the lyrics playing through the verse. Here we go. Blame it all on my roots. I showed up in boots and ruined your black tie affair. Was the last one to know, the last one to show, the last one you thought you'd see there. I saw the surprise, the fear in his eyes. I took his glass of champagne and I toasted you, saying, honey, we may be through, but you never hear me complain. To the chorus. So that is the verse section. Now let's take a look here at some of the chord tricks that happen throughout. So one thing I want to mention, when you go from this A major chord to the A sharp diminished chord, you play your A major with your middle and your middle and your index finger. You can keep your index finger here on the C string of the first fret and move your middle finger from A to the A sharp diminished by just going from the G string down to the A string of the first fret. So that's a little chord trick there. And the other place I want to mention here is going from E to E7. Now when we play this together, you have the option of just avoiding the E altogether because E7 sounds pretty cool, but I like moving from the E major triad and then adding a little color to it with that 7 chord because it's just a nice setup to get back to our A chord. So you have the option of doing both. And the last little trick here I want to mention is when we go from B minor 7 to D minor 7, you'll see here that we are sharing the same shape. You're just going to move your index finger from the 2nd fret from B minor 7 up to the 5th fret for D minor 7. So those are a couple little tricks that you can use as you play through that verse. All right, make sure you're tuned up. Let's play the verse section together. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, A sharp diminished, B minor 7, twice, to our E chord, E7, and then back to A, twice. Now stay on that A chord once, A sharp diminished, D minor 7, rise up to the D minor 7, and then finish off with E7, 2, 3, 4, and then we're going to go into the chorus. So that is the verse section. Spend some time playing that. Take your time. I know there are a lot of cool little chord changes here to work through, and really make sure that you're keeping your fingers in close proximity to the strings the entire time. That's going to help you navigate those chord changes. Here we go with a quick demonstration of the chorus. Here we go. 'Cause I got friends in low places where the whiskey drowns and the beer chases my blues away. I'll be okay, I'll be okay. And I'm not big on social graces. Think I'll slip on down to the oasis. So I got friends in low places. All right, so what's happening here with the chord progression? Nothing out of the ordinary, using the same chords we've learned throughout the tune. So we just have our A chord, moving to a B minor 7. Now moving from a open position chord to a bar chord, you might want to spend a little time doing that, just practicing, because there's a little hand movement happening in between those two chords. And then the only other nuance to this section that you notice is when we get to the word oasis. Instead of strumming through that, we're just going to play a single down strum, and I like to do a staccato version of that. So I play the A chord, and then I put my ring finger over the strings so that the sound stops. So I think I'll slip on down to the oasis. So you just kind of seal that off, and we'll do that together here when we do the play along. So let's play this together. Follow along. All of the chords are listed below. We'll go through it nice and easy. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. A. 2, 3, 4 to the B minor 7. Twice, back to E7, twice, coming back to the A. We're going to do this 3 times. 2, 3, now the down strum. 1, 2, 3, B minor 7, E7, and then end with that old familiar A chord. Thanks so much for learning this country western classic with me. If you enjoyed this video, jump over to the AllForUke website where we have a dedicated play along where you can hear me try to sing this song. We can all play it together, have fun. It's a good time. Also, there is a PDF song sheet, and we have a huge library of songs that I think you should check out as well on the AllForUke site. Please leave your comments below. Let me know where you're playing the uke. Are you playing baritone? Are you playing standard? What kind of uke do you play? How long have you been playing? I love hearing from you guys. My name's Kevin. Thank you so much for learning with me. I'll see you next time.
Meet me down by the seaside. We can howl at the moon rise. Watch as the tide strolls in.